100 rupees. That means how much profit that Mr. Ella is going to make? He is going to make a profit of 70 rupees. Why? Because here the market price is 100 and the cost of producing of 1 kg red chilli is only 30 rupees and the profit is 70 rupees. But here there is one small problem. The problem is very simple and LII is producing red chilli, but the thing is today he cannot sell those red chillis. Why? Because he is going to get the crop after 30 days. Panta pandinchadu, but the thing is you need to cut the crop. Panta koyali, enda petali, grading has to be done and packaging has to be done. For that particular purpose, you require another 30 days of time. Now here, Mr. Ellaya will be having certain kind of risk. What is the risk in the sense? Today the price is 100 rupees, that is okay, but the thing is when I am going to get the delivery of red chillis, I will sell this red chillis after 1 month, but I am not sure that after 1 month the price of red chilli will be 100 rupees. If suppose what is going to happen if the price of red chilli is 40 rupees after 1 month, how much profit he is going to make? 70 rupees or only 10 rupees? What is the reason behind reducing the profit margins for Mr. Ellaya? Due to fluctuations in the market prices of red chilli. Now here there is a risk. What if the price of red chilli is going to decline up to 20 rupees after 1 month? Either he is going to make a profit or loss? Definitely he is going to make a loss. Now here there is a risk associated to the farmer regarding the prices of red chillis. This is not an example only for red chillis. You can see the farmers who are cultivating tomatoes also. Now here there is a risk. Now this risk can be managed with the help of futures or what we call it as derivatives. How he can manage that risk? It is a very simple concept. Today only Mr. Ellaya is going to make an future agreement with another person. Let us assume that the other person is Mr. Priya Pickles. What Priya Pickles is going to do? It is in the process of manufacturing of pickles. Over there the main ingredient is red chillis. Now what Ella is going to do is he is going to make an agreement with Priya Pickles. Sir, I am ready to sell red chillis at a price of 100 rupees, but the point is I am going to give the delivery not today but after 1 month. Like that the agreement will be made. That means the agreement has been made today. And on which date he is going to give the delivery? After 30 days. What if suppose the price of red chilli is 20 rupees after 30 days? Either Ella is supposed to sell his red chillis in the market at a price of 20 rupees or he is going to sell to Priya Pickles on the agreement price of 100. On the agreement price of 100. That means here the farmer was able to manage the price fluctuations of this particular crop with the help of futures contract. First of all, these derivatives were introduced for this purpose, and now today we are using the same concept in the stock market also, and the object is only one, that is hedging or risk management. Now I would like to thank the trade for giving this opportunity to speak about the stock market, the basics of the stock market. Now I hand over the dance to Madam Kantadurga, Madam Dr. Kantadurga.
Good morning, one and all. It's my pleasure to invite you all to the inaugural session of UGC-sponsored 2-day national seminar on emerging trends in Indian capital markets. I invite our seminar director and Dean Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, Professor R. Sivaram sir. So please occupy the chair on the dais. Thank you, sir. Now I request our esteemed guest, Professor M. Munninarayanappa Garu, Dean Faculty of Commerce and Management, Bangalore University, Bangalore. So please occupy the chair on the dais. Now I request the distinguished keynote speaker, Professor Golak C. Nath Garu, Dean, Exayam University, Bhubaneswar, Odisha. So please occupy the chair on the dais. Thank you, sir. Now I request the guest of honor, Mr. B. Ramesh Garu, Head, Synergy School of Business, Hyderabad, former Dean of Commerce, Goa University. So please occupy the chair on the dais. Thank you, sir. Now I request the eminent guest of honor, Professor R. Nageswara Garu, Senior Professor, Department of Business Management, Osmania University, Hyderabad. So please occupy the chair on the dais. So before starting the program, so we want to know the eminent professors' profile as well as their achievements. They are all the role model for us. So please observe these eminent personalities on the dais so we can have the motivation from their achievements, from their words. So before we start, I want to introduce our keynote speaker, Professor Golak C. Nath Garu, by our colleague Zakir Hussain sir. So please introduce our keynote speaker.
Yeah. Good morning to all. It's my pleasure to introduce Professor Golak C. Nath Garu, a proactive and enthusiastic individual with extensive work experience in the financial products, which covers debt markets, equities, forex and derivatives, and not only that, in the data analytics and financial benchmark developments and information technology and application of technology in business, specifically in software skills, proven to be a strategic and operational level, and shown professional boldness and vision in initiative, new products and systematic development ideas, and implemented innovative approach to strategic direction. Good communication and presentation skills underpinned by an enthusiastic and inclusive approach, a long-standing interesting in financial markets, IT and management, and extensive experience of working with people from diverse backgrounds. Guided and mentored a highly aspiring and young workforce, love to apply the theory of statistics and econometrics to the financial markets, and a social contribution through teaching as a visiting faculty at top business schools in India, has made reasonable contribution to the financial market development and research. He loves to explore new technologies, adaptations like artificial intelligence and machine learning. And coming to his educational background, sir has his PhD and his PG in the area of MBA, particularly the specialization of finance, and presently working as a Dean and Professor of Exayam University, Bhubaneswar, and he is having a lot of professional experience. Previously worked with Vijaya Bank, and he also worked with the National Stock Exchange. Today the India's largest stock exchange is NSE, not BSE. And he has also worked with the clearing and settlement departments like the Clearing Corporation of India. And this is the previous works which the sir have worked with and his contribution. With this, I would like to thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I think you have observed what are the achievements of our keynote speaker. So we can have the personalities on the dais as our role models, how they have achieved and in what period and for what struggle and what hard work they have done to achieve all this. So I introduce another Professor M. Muninarayanappa Garu, by our student. She will introduce
వేరే కాలేజ్ వాళ్ళు
about
వస్తారంట మనం
Professor M. Muninaranappa garu. Shravan.
శ్రావణి ఏదో ఉందంట ఇంట్రడక్షన్ దానికోసం
A very good morning to all the deputies who are here and my dear friends. It's my pleasure to be with you. I'm Muninaranappa garu. I'm BA, MLISC, and PhD. I serve as a former chairman and the syndicate member, academic council member, BOS, and BOE member in Bangalore University. Bank. Now at present, he is serving as a professor, former chairman and dean, postgraduate department of commerce, Bangalore University, Bangalore City University, Bangalore, Karnataka. He is the recipient of Rajiv Gandhi Excellent Award 1998 and he has qualified for UGC NET JRF in 1996. He is a scholar and writer. He has created a vibrant academic climate as coordinator of School of Business Studies, offering 5 years integrated MBS degree program offered by the university. The specific degree nomenclature of this course is recently changes from MBS to MMS. As per the UGC Gazette Notification 2014, he has authorized 4 books, namely Management Behavioral Process, Cost and Management Accounting, Stock and Commodity Markets, and Microfinancial Institutions on Commerce and Management subjects catering to the needs of graduate and postgraduate studies in Commerce and Management. He has written and published more than 32 research articles in the nation and international periodicals. He is a subject expert for Central Institution of Vocational Education, the Constitute Unit of and CERT, Ministry of Excited Government of India. Professor Muninaranappa garu is an active researcher and recognized research guide and produced quality PhD scholars. As a researcher, he has produced 12 PhDs, 13 MPhil, 1 minor research project and another major research project on UGC MRP, successfully completed, sponsored by UGC Grants Commission UGC. He has been invited as a external examiner and the chairman of the Open Defense Viva Voice examination of several universities in India. Further, he is providing free academic consultancy services for promotion of quality education and career guidance by encouraging rural students and also by conducting faculty development program through the Indian Council of Business Education, associating with colleges to upgrade the teachers of ICT and other latest changes have happened in commerce and management education. He has been invited sharing technical sessions in the national and international seminars in India and visited abroad on the invitation by the International Association of Academicians and Researchers and the Global Open University to sharing technical sessions in the Today International Conference and delivered a talk on dimensions of environmental accounting and talk Thailand on 21st June 2013. On September 1st, 2021, Dr. M. Muninaranappa garu organized a workshop on implementation of National Education Policy 2020. 3 technical workshops covering the medical framework, policy implementation, and interdisciplinary approach were the focus of this workshop. The Faculty of Commerce and Management, as well as every institution's principal from Bangalore City University's affiliated and autonomous colleges attended this workshop. Due to the very positive response from the teaching community, it was considered as a huge success. Also, additionally, he has given the position of COVID-19 Nodal Officer for Bangalore University Southern Colleges in 2021 and promoted the social vaccination campaign in university colleges. Dr. M. Muninaranappa garu is rendering services to the teaching fraternity of Commerce and Management in India as a founder, General Secretary of Indian Council for Business Education and as a executive committee member of the Indian Accounting Association (IAA). Both have professional bodies addressing the solutions to the problems like gathering the needs of the business and accounting profession. Thanks for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Dear students, In order to write your question paper, you are reading only 5 questions or 10 questions. To write a paper, it's not easy thing. So how many papers that these eminent personalities have written, and how many books they have referred, and how stressed they have gone through in order to publish those papers. To get a PhD is not an easy thing. And to allotting or awarding a PhD and guiding a student is not an easy thing. So you can have all the people on the dais as your role model. Now I request Lahari to read out the biodata of Professor B. Ramesh sir.
A very good morning to all the dignitaries over here and my dear friends. It's my pleasure to introduce the biodata of Professor Bommadevara Ramesh Garu. Professor B. Ramesh Devara, a rich experience in the field of academia, serving for almost 35 years as a teaching faculty of postgraduate level in the state university teaching courses like MCOM, MBA, MCA and MPhil. Also serving as HOD and Chairman, Board of Studies in Commerce for 15 years, also Dean Faculty of Commerce for 6 years of Goa State University. Becoming to his research leaderships, a total of 16 doctoral works till date guided with currently 8 more doctoral works and a program in the area of accounting, finance, investment, entrepreneurship, corporate governance and investment, portfolio and management, and industrial institutional networking. Worked closely with various government and corporate bodies like SIFB, SPI, Goa Central Excess Department, Goa Chamber of Commerce, Goa Small Industrial Association, to name few. A number of research projects and sponsored training programs and workshops have been conducted during the association. When coming to his networking with professional body associates, he is closely associated with Indian Accounting Association for the last 30 years, representing more than 8,000 life members of commerce and accounting professionals working in the Indian life members of universities of institutions. Also worked as past president of AAA during 1999 to 2000. Administrative tribes. During his tenure of service as the head of the Department of Commerce and Management, students as the Dean Faculty of Commerce for 6 years at Goa University. He was involved in various administrative with innovative pedagogy time. And thank you for giving me this opportunity.
All the people on the dial encyclopedia. So observe them. So listen to their words so that you can have a lot of knowledge. Now I request M. Jessica to read out the biodata of Professor R. Nageshwar sir.
Thank you, ma'am. A very rosy morning to all the dignitaries over here, my dear friends. It's my pleasure to introduce the biodata of Dr. Ramana Maheshwar Rao. Born in an agriculture family in the year 1963 and hails from the Khammam district. He is a complete product of Osmania University. Of the MBA, he joined at Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, Mumbai and serviced for 1 year. Later, he joined Osmania University as assistant professor in the year 1989. Awarded PhD in the area of finance and subsequently promoted to professor in the year 2006. He also has an international academic presence at the capacity of professor and a specific project director in the various countries with the predominantly include Associate Professor in Shahraj University College, United Arab Emirates, Director Business Management College of Administrative Science, Sultanate of Oman, Visiting Faculty, College of Business Administration, Colombo, Sri Lanka, Visiting Faculty, University of Utah, United Kingdom, United Minister of HRD, Government of Hong Kong, delivered a keynote speech in Xicheng University, Taiwan, visited Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok, delivered a keynote speech at Lincoln University, Malaysia, delivered a keynote address on higher education in California Business School at Allied International University, USA, and delivered speech for banking sector at Hanoi University, Vietnam. Delivered a keynote address at National University of Law Korea. He made several paper presentations at IIT, published 42 national and international articles, authored 6 books for Center for Distance Education.
Usmania University and 2 books in the area of finance. He successfully supplies to achieve 20 PhDs and 4 MPhil degrees. This includes 3 PhDs and 4 MPhils for College of Defence Management, Minister of Defence, Government of India. He served at Usmania University and various capacities which include Director of Admissions, Control Examination, Director of Infrastructure, Director Academic Audit, OSD to Vice Chancellor. Dr. Nageshwar Rao is also a recipient for Bharat Gaur Award at national level for the year 2016, recipient of Dronacharya Award for the year. Thank you.
Now I request our esteemed and beloved Vice Chancellor Sir, our Chief Guest, Professor Rajshekhar Patel garu, so please occupy the chair and the dais.
వాసు బాబాయ్
We welcome you, sir. Now prayer song.
Thank you.
Now I request the Honorable Vice Chancellor sir and all the delegates to please light the lamp. Thank you, sir. Now I hand over the mic to the seminar director, Mr. Rajaram.
Our beloved Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajshekhar Pateti, the eminent academician, erudite scholar, is a role model teacher for the academic community. Professor C.H. Swaruparani Garu, she will join soon. Professor Murinarayana Garu, Dean Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, Bangalore University Central. Professor B. Ramesh Garu, former Dean of the Goa Business School, Goa University, at present head for the Synergy School of the Business, Hyderabad. Professor R. Nageswara Garu, Senior Professor, School of Management, Osmania University. Professor Jawahar Babu, with him, 15 minutes is joining with us. And Dr. Nagaraju, Chairman BYS. And today, important person and the scientific person, particularly the inaugural section, Professor Gorak Singh Garu, who is a keynote speaker, former Director of NSDL, Government of India, at present Dean, Exim University, Bhubaneswar, and teaching colleagues, research scholars, participants across the nation, student friends, good morning to all of you. The Department of the Commerce and Business Administration is a premier institute in 3 territorial districts of the Andhra Pradesh. The Department of the Commerce and Management started almost 50 years back, striving for academic excellence till the date. N number of academic events has been organizing by this department and also enrich, empower the home ministers of the particularly Andhra Pradesh area. Similarly, this year also, with the help of our Acharya Nagaji University and with the help of the UGC, the department has decided to organize a 2-day national seminar on emerging trends in Indian capital markets. You know, at the globalized arena. Once upon a time, scenarios are different, capital economies are gone, market economies are gone. Today, knowledge economies almost always going to obsolete. We are all entering the digital era. Digital economies play a very vital role. And they ensure the Indian capital market also transforming like anything. Reason, Indian capital market with compared to the SVS at present almost all occupy the 5th place in the global order. America has with a high capitalization with $26.2 trillion, whereas India 3.1 occupying the 5th place. Because of the economic reforms, because of the foreign institutional investors, receiving, attracting the huge quantity of the foreign investments towards the Indian stock markets. But so many times in 1995, stock market has started to digitize. After that, the time also reduced to the 1 day. Settlements also very fast way because of digitization taking place. Derivative market almost all compared to the America, compared to the Japan, compared to the England. Our market growth rate is very high. It's a good boost to the Indian economy. At the juncture, our policy makers, Government of India, under the leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, set a target to develop this economy to the $5 trillion. It is actually not a difficult reason. Our Indian capital market, so many issues encounter from the different, very well, very recently, earlier, so many scandals are there. Even though our stock market, very different way, shown our strength. Today, because of the hidden but report, Indian stock market almost all facing lot of trouble. One company, almost all, Adani Group company, lost more than 12 lakhs crores evaporated, right, at the juncture, right, we decided to organize this seminar. So, at this seminar, so many, the participants is coming and from the different parts of the country, so many participants attended for this seminar. For the sake of seminar, we invited the Professor Golak Singh Nath. Earlier, sir has more than 15 years acted as a director for the NSDL. At present, he is appointed as the dean for one of the top premier institute of the earlier called as an Exile or now today called Exim University, Bhubaneswar. And from Bangalore University, from Osmania University, from the Vikram Chahupur University. But today, the morning inaugural section purpose, these people already came over here. We invited onto the dais. And immediately after inaugural section, we will organize a panel meeting with the eminent people and start a discussion through the panel members. And after that, right, whatever the inputs and other type of the discussion they will take place. All the discussions, very different way, develop a report and send it to the regulatory bodies of India, and also same copy sent to the Ministry of the Finance for the betterment of the Indian stock market. With this small remarks, myself inviting our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajashekar Pateti. Please, sir, give your message on this occasion.
I profusely thank Professor Sivaram Prasad for asking me to speak before the invited subject experts to give the keynote observations. I deem it as a privilege and honor to be in this inaugural program of 2 days national seminar on emerging trends in Indian capital markets by the Department of Commerce and Business Administration. On behalf of the university, I extend a warm welcome to Professor Muni Narayanappa, Dean Faculty of Commerce from Bangalore University, Professor B. Ramesh, Head Synergy School of Business, Hyderabad, and also former Dean of Commerce, Goa University, Professor R. Nageshwar Rao, a Senior Professor from the Department of Business and Management Studies, Mani University, Hyderabad. I also extend my warm welcome to Professor K.V.S. Jawahar Babu Garu, Head Department of Tourism and Management from Vikram Simple University, Nellore, and Professor Golakshi Nag, the Dean, Xim University, Bhubaneswar, Odisha. And to the distinguished Principal of College of Arts, and also to Chairman Board of Studies in Commerce and Business Management and the Director of Distance Education, Dr. Nagaraj Garu, and to all the distinguished faculty, to all the scholars from the Department of Commerce and Business Management, and to other distinguished participants who came to participate in this seminar, from the respective affiliated colleges of Acharya Nagarjuna University, to the guest faculty and to the contract assistant professors who are teaching in this department, and to the wonderful scholars and students of the Department of Commerce and Business Administration. I extend a warm welcome to all of you, and I congratulate Professor Sivaram for taking initiation in organizing this 2-day national seminar on emerging trends in Indian capital markets. I just don't want to say anything about your capital market, about the fluctuations in the Indian capital market, or about how your capital market has been undergoing financial turbulences. And I don't want to say anything about the emerging trends in Indian capital market, but I wish to conceptualize the theme of your seminar. I wish to take a different perspective from the theme of your seminar, and I wish that all the students and scholars who are working for their research degrees to consider my perception as a very serious perception. As you all know, there is a rise in electronic transactions, and mutual fund industry is growing rapidly in India, and stock exchanges are coming out with their own narration. If you want to narrate the history of the nation, if you want to narrate the reality of the nation, people who are involved in observing the trends in commerce and business management, they look for the narration of stock exchanges. That is how nation is being narrated. There is a theory called nation and narration. Every nation will have to narrate itself every day to its citizens in the form of its own events and incidents. This is how nation talks to its own citizens. This is how nation itself creates its own story with its own narrative attitude. But some people, they believe in a different narration of the story of the nation. The story of the nation every day is narrated by the exchanges in stock market, by the fluctuations in stock market, and by the protections of the investors, or by the deceptions or the gullibilities that are being created by the investors and the business tycoons in a country like India. Just now your professor has mentioned that Adani Group has diluted. Adani Group has completely dissolved itself to the dismal extent, surprising the global market, to the dismay of the whole world, blaming the central government's involvement in this, and the serious debates and discussions are going on in the present parliament proceedings as to who is responsible for this disappearance of the bubble, business bubble, for this disappearance of the business bubble. So I do believe that these attempts to evolve a conclusion, the attempts or efforts to evolve a conclusion for the emerging trends in capital market results from the ignorance of the nation in trying to understand humanity is the best capital with which the nation's future can be invested. I think some administrators believe that I don't want to invest in anything, but I want to invest in the lives of the people. Okay. Humanity is the best capital market. Human beings are the best capital market. Without extracting the physical labor from the human beings, the structures of this whole world wouldn't have been possible. It is only from the hard work of the slaves and the captured, discriminated races, we have the enigmatic structures in the ancient civilizations. Can anyone talk about the enigmatic, structures or the wonderful structures in, Egyptian civilization or Greek civilization or Babylonian civilization or the so-called classical civilizations without considering the hard labor extracted from the bodies of the people? Okay. Without making the human beings to work as slaves, the wonders or wonderful structures or the magnetic structures or the enigmatic structures wouldn't have been possible. So during the ancient times or in the so-called classical civilizations period, human beings were considered to be the capital. Okay. It is in them we need to invest. It is in their lives we need to invest. Every nation and every society has to believe in investing the lives of the people and in elevating the lives of the people, whereby the economy of the people, the economy of the nation becomes stronger and stronger. Okay. You cannot weaken the society. You cannot keep the people undernourished and malnourished. You cannot discriminate the people from the accessibility of the necessary commodities, from the accessibility of the essential things which are essential for the human living, and then talk about the growth of the economy, talk about the industrialization, talk about the globalization, and continue to discuss about these fluctuations in Indian capital market. That is how I view, that is how I perceive. Okay. Because the very fundamental conceptual clarification is essential for any community, or for any class, for any society, or for any nation is essential. fundamentals need to be taken care. I just gave you the example how the world's classical civilizations are considered to be classic even today. In their culture, in their history, and in all their structural monuments, which are still to be considered as the wonderful structures which cannot be constructed even now. So when you examine the structural evolution in the world, the structural evolution of any nation in the world, you find that humanity or human beings being used as the best investors. They are the best investors. If the study of capitalism, the study of investment and study of capital markets, if you are going to gauge the trends of the Indian capital market, bereft of humanity, in the sense without talking about the human being. And if you simply talk about the emergence of the materialism, the objects that were created by the human beings, it would be a futile exercise. Futile in the sense it's an exercise, a mental exercise, an exercise by the nation, which is futile in nature. It doesn't result into anything. It doesn't ease into anything. Without, discussing or talking about the structural evolution and the invested human capital in the very evolution of the humanity. I think we all are the victims of COVID crisis, and we all led our lives with fear psychosis, and we came to the conclusion, the entire humanity across the globe, irrespective of the dominant nations or subdued nations, have come to the conclusion it is enough if the humanity survives. I mean, those days, these fluctuations were not studied. Those days, these business tycoons were not properly observed, properly examined. And the business tycoons were not considered to be the superhuman beings or ultra-human beings. Okay. Even if you are Adani, even if you are any other business magnate, even if you are superstar or celebrity, you are susceptible to coronavirus, any kind of deadly disease, which weakens the human body, whereby it results into the dismal functioning of the human body, and non-proliferation and non-growth of the society. But how did humanity come to terms with the reality? Humanity came to terms with the reality by fighting against itself. In fighting against itself. This is what is known as ontological history of the humanity. What is ontology? Ontology is a theory of existence. How do the human beings struggle to survive? If you consider human beings as the best capital market, that is why you find our Prime Minister and other people trying to say, in human resources, India is the best nation, and by utilizing the human resources, India can overcome any kind of financial stress, any kind of financial crisis. I think it is because of the humanity being considered as the best capital. India still proves to be the strongest economy when compared to US, and also when compared to Canada, and also when compared to Germany. Okay. Canadian economy is stronger than American economy right now. Okay. Many young people belonging to the elite sections of the society believe in migrating to Canada than to US. Okay. Because US economy is always found to be fluctuating. Unless and until you have your strong caste association in US, which takes care of your whereabouts and which takes care of your progress in life, individually, personally, you can't get on in America. Okay. You can't get on in America without strong your own communities, film organizations or film fans associations. So now people are thinking that Canadian economy is the safest economy. Okay. Though Canada is a country which cannot be lived as far as atmosphere is concerned, atmospherically. You know, out of 12 months, 8 months is severe cold in Canada. Only 4 months you can normally walk out. But still people are exploring their better future in Canada, withstanding the severe cold atmosphere, getting acclimatized to that severe cold atmosphere in search of better life and better future. Better life and better future. So nobody studies Canadian economy. Everybody concentrates in studying the downfall of American economy or the fluctuations in American economy. The best society to be studied in comparison with Indian society, but of course India is not as progressive as Canada in terms of capital market. But the best society in relation with, in relative comparative study with Indian society is Canadian society. Okay. So Canada, just give me brief time to make you understand the Canadian society, because I just want all of you to understand the conceptualization of your topic of the seminar. As I said, I'm here to conceptualize the theme of your seminar rather than talking about the subjective related things, because your keynote speakers are here to make you understand the subtleties and the nuances of the theme of your seminar. Okay. I'm not into your subjective details, but of course you have our Makkal Mannan, Makkal Nanban. Makkal Mannan means the one who stole the hearts of the people, Professor Shivram. Okay. Makkal Nanban. Okay. Makkal Nanban means your friend. Makkal means your people. The friend of the people is Professor Shivram. Okay. So, I think right now he is taking the department forward completely on his shoulders with his emotive skills and with the skills of pulling the people, and with his well-connected relations. He can bring in even UGC chairman also if he thinks, the present UGC chairman also if he intends. I really believe in his abilities to organize these kinds of events and set good goals for the students of this department and find good placements for the scholars of the department in the open market. So I really congratulate Professor Shivram on this occasion for taking very good care of this department single-handedly, which was once upon a time known as the department of the masters and the department of celebrities and popular administrators. Okay. This department used to be with 10 professors or 15 professors in one go, and this used to be the center for Acharya Nagarjuna University. But unfortunately, after the retirement of all the senior professors, the responsibility fell on the shoulders of Professor Shivram Prasad. And I am sure that Professor Shivram Prasad, and I don't have any doubt in his ability, that Shivram Prasad can carry or can take forward this department with great aplomb and with great ease. Of course, we are all witnessing that. And you are all here to substantiate his leadership qualities and his management skills and other things. Okay. So that is nothing but a human capital. I consider Professor Shivram as a great human capital. Okay. A multivariate personality and who can do many things. He is also looking after IBM department and he is the dean to many departments and he can bring in very popular resource persons. Yeah, that we have to accept publicly. We have to accept the truth, publicly about his personality. So I don't hesitate in accepting his abilities publicly, though I differ with him on many grounds. Okay. Though I disagree with him on many grounds. Okay. Of course, the difference is the friendly difference and other things. Thank you very much for all the young scholars. What I'm saying is, you need to take a close look about the Canadian society. Okay. Canada is the country colonized by British people and French people. We have British Canadians and French Canadians. Okay. French influence and British influence equally in Canada. I think Canada became, I think in 1937 or something, it became an independent nation, decolonizing itself, liberating itself from the influence of Britishers and the French people, and it has opened its doors to every race to come into itself. Okay. So now you have Japanese Canadians, you have Chinese Canadians, you have Asian Canadians. Asian Canadians means, people from South Asian countries who went to Canada and who settled there. You have Korean Canadians. Apart from these people, you have Jewish Canadians, and you have native Canadians. Before Canada was colonized, who were actually living in Canada. They were considered to be the original inhabitants of Canada. They are called as First Nations people in Canada. Okay. Now, Canadian society became a strong economic society by respecting every community and every race, and by showing their own space for existence. Their own space for existence. You have the same thing in America also. You have the same thing in America also. But due to the overpresence of the Indians, due to the overpresence of the Indians in all the dimensions, I think the domination of America has slightly come down. Because when you want to know something about America now, you have to find out where Ramcharan is in America, what is he doing in America, and what Rajmouli is doing in America, and how Indians have succeeded in making US people to dance to that Naughty song, completely. Now these are the news about America right now. At least in the field of glamour, in the field of entertainment, in the field of glamour and in the field of entertainment. You don't find these news from Canadian society or from Canadian country. You always find each and every race trying to struggle, trying to have its own space, trying to exist in their own terms and conditions, and enriching the Canadian economy to become stronger and stronger. Because Canada believes in humanity as the capital market. So every nation, the precise conveyance of my, observation here is any nation or any society that ignores human beings as the best resource capital and that fails to invest in the lives of the people will crumble down, will fall down. It cannot be a stronger economy. So the trends in our Indian capital market need to be redefined. They need to be revised, and they need to be re-examined at the backdrop of the greatest population strength of India. So I think our Honorable Chief Minister is the only one who invests in the enrichment of humanity, either in the form of education or in the form of health standards, taking care of the health of the people, taking care of the education of the people, which will yield better results very soon, and which will provide a good justification in understanding human beings as the best capital. So with these remarks, with a request to make all of you to re-examine this particular aspect in a different way, the theme of the seminar in a different way, I convey my best wishes for the success of the seminar. Once again, welcoming all the keynote speakers who have traveled all the way from different parts of India to enlighten you, and congratulating all the scholars and all the distinguished faculty of the Department of Commerce and Management. I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sir is a very eminent academician. He coined a new term of fourth world literature. Particularly in that area, it has been developing wonderful scholars, particularly in that area. But this subject point of view, really myself feeling very surprised where he brought wonderful information about the stock markets. stock market actually, we consider it as an intellectual game. Based on the one. Just now, I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajesh Shekhar Patel garu, for releasing the souvenir. I request the Madam, please organize the. Request the Professor Kandadur garu, please organize the felicitations to all the distinguished personalities who hail from the north of the India. First, I want to felicitate Professor Golak C. Nath, who is the keynote speaker, hails from the Exim University. I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor kindly felicitate the Professor Golak C. Nath. Thank you, sir. Now, I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor kindly felicitate the Professor P. Ramesh garu, former Dean for the Goa Business School, presently head for the Synergy Business School. Thank you, sir. Now I request the Professor Rajesh Shekhar garu kindly felicitate our Senior Professor R. Nageswara garu, Senior Professor, former in charge Vice Chancellor for the Osmania University. Thank you, sir. This is the time for facilitate the professor. Sir, I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor kindly facilitate the Professor Gurinarayana garu, Dean Faculty of the Commerce and Management Studies, Bangalore University. Thank you, sir. Now I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, kindly felicitate the Professor K.V.S.N. Jawahar Babu, head the Travel and Tourism Management, Vikram Singh Puri University, Nellore. I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, kindly facilitate our Chairman BYS Studies, Dr. Nagaraj, right there.
అక్కడ లోన ఉన్నా
I request Professor Bharatnath garu kindly present our Honorable Vice Chancellor garu, General Vice Chancellor garu not accepting felicitations, but even though at least accept a small felicitation from our distinguished academicians.
వారం అవ్వలేదు ఇంకా
ఎవరు వారా అయిపోయింది
ఐదు
అయిపోయింది కానీ తక్కువ లిమిట్లో లిమిట్ ఉద్యోగ రంగం నాకు అప్పుడు మొదలుపెట్టింది ఉద్యోగం రానే పెట్టింది క్యాంప్ అన్నా ఇంకా
Thank you, our beloved Vice Chancellor, who came here and blessing all the participants who came for the participating for the national seminar. Now, I request I inviting the Professor Dhananjay. Right immediately we start the panel discussion with all the eminent professors on the emerging trends in capital market, and also inviting Dr. Jagir Hussain, both people to act as moderators for the panel discussion. I request all the participants to resume the seats and cooperate with the successful of the particular panel. With this, hand over the section to the Professor Dhananjay and Dr. Jagir Hussain, who are two people done their doctorates particularly in stock markets. Immediately we will start the panel discussion. Sorry, a small correction. Now, I request the keynote speaker, Professor Golak Srinath garu, give your keynote speech particularly on the emerging trends in the Indian capital market. I request all the distinguished professors, please take the seat ready for the final discussion. And Professor Golak Srinath garu, eminent scholar particularly in the field of the capital market. Earlier, sir has worked as a director for the NSDL. After that, the Exum University invited him and appointed sir as a dean for the School of Management, Exum University, located in the Bhubaneswar. Very soft-spoken person, simple person, erudite scholar, a distinguished academician, and maintain a good relation and rapport with the industry and academic. That the great man now came over here for analyzing us particularly on emerging trends in Indian capital market. With this brief remarks on behalf of the Department of the Commerce and Management Studies, on behalf of the faculty, research scholars, students and the participants, cordially inviting for keynote speech. Please, sir.
Thank you, Professor Sivaram. Respected colleagues on the dais, senior professors, and students, research scholars, aides. It was a great opportunity for me to come down here, and a few days back, my dean, Professor Ramesh, invited me, asked me to give a name of a person who can come from the industry. We tried, but due to shortage of time, he said, why don't you come, because you work in the industry for a very long time, so why did you come? Since he's a very close friend for many years, in spite of my medical problem, I decided to come down here, and I'm happy that I landed up here. Let me just take over from what Professor or Vice Chancellor said, human capital. In fact, capital markets is not only trading but raising of funds, funding, how they are going to set up infrastructure, how they are going to set up factories, how they are going to set up, observe the young generation of labor force, basically. So capital market has an important role in creating jobs, both whether it's the primary market or secondary market. It has last few years, the amount of jobs it has created, crores of jobs it has created, mind-boggling. You can see the entire ecosystem works on this. So I will just give you few points of what I think that emerging trends in the capital markets. Only thing is, they have wrongly printed in the booklet. They have wrongly printed one my speech there. It's not there. It belongs to somebody's paper in the book they have printed. So you have to bear with that, and you have to select the correct one from Professor Sivaram. There are a few points, 5-6 points I'm going to note it down for what do we need to do to move to the next stage of capital markets. Because we have already achieved what is the primary stage of the capital market, trading of funds and all kinds of things, putting up systems. What are the new challenges? Today, by the time you graduate from here, the challenges will be completely coming from cryptocurrencies, artificial intelligence, fintech, all kinds of things which are completely new things to the capital markets. So I'm going to basically talk about few of these particular points. My first point is reforming the regulatory agenda to stimulate growth. How do we reform the regulatory process? Because 2-3 days back, if you go to and see the newspaper, SEBI has said that you have to create self-regulating organizations because compliance is very costly and it increases the cost of operating in capital markets. So that means SEBI is talking about change in some of the regulations. So if you basically simplifying regulations, making it easier to transact with safety would improve the breadth of this particular market. SEBI has introduced shorter settlement cycles from February 2013. Instead of T+2, today we have moved to T+1. That means today I am trading, tomorrow I will get my money. So SEBI has ensured that investors do not wait for their funds or securities longer. Globally, regulations are being tightened to ensure safety of the markets. Everywhere we are tightening the rules. In the United States, there are signs that regulations will remain tight under the present US administration, which has imposed 317 billion in fines. Okay, over 216 million hours of new paperwork in January 2021. 317 billion fines have been imposed on people. That means you are basically creating stringent regulatory systems. Internalizing the technology in work, because technology is taking the present challenges that we see in the equity markets, see in the bond market, see in the currency market. Technology. What are the technologies? 2023 will challenge the growth, but it's likely to retain investment on technology. Most of the people are going to invest on technology because technology is becoming faster aging, and you have to keep on reinventing. You get technology, you along with that you get the hackers. So they try to take on the technology, so you have to keep them on an advanced stage so that you can save yourself from the hackers. Because everything today you do through your mobile phones, and if a few days back you must be receiving the calls and mails from the government that any call you are receiving from 91172 or 171, please disconnect. You get his hacks immediately. If you receive that call, it immediately hacks your phone. Okay, so it has come to that. They just simply give a call, and by mistake you respond that virus is thrown to your thing, and the malware collects each and every information to your phone, sends to the hacker. Right? I know some of the top banks in India have paid money to save themselves or to release their systems like a top banks from the WannaCry virus. A particular bank paid more than 200 crores in crypto, to save itself from that particular virus. So hacking has become technology. It provides a lot of, basically easier of doing things, but it can destroy you, an individual, in a minute. Few years back, a bank like Bangladesh Bank, Central Bank of Bangladesh, was hacked to transfer millions of dollars, to a destination which is North Korea. After that, we do not know what happened to that money. But due to some kind of, basically some kind of, what should we say, it sent money through a system in which, they broke it down to 5 million transactions each. They wanted to move 100 million from the Bangladesh bank. So after 5 million was transferred, somebody, because if you know the way money moves internationally, what happened that it was while it was passing through Australia, the rule is, sweet rule is, in that particular company, one time a transaction is passed, second transaction it must be print that particular transaction. So somehow the printer adjusted the paper. And somebody came to see that, wrote the paper in the night. Then he saw that, somebody saw out of curiosity, he had no business to see, but out of curiosity he saw the, spelling mistake in Sri Lanka. And some of the two countries spelling mistake, then what he did, though he was a very junior officer, he just killed all the future payments. And that way, Bangladesh Bank saved $95 million. You can think about just simply by, from technology, you can move money so fast. So technology investors will be doing more scrutiny on returns on their investments. On the technology-driven companies will produce more profit by reducing costs. Companies are looking for value partners through merger and acquisition. That is one particular area. So people want to find synergy in capital markets because competition is too high. The surge in merger and acquisition activity globally is expected to continue in 2023. So there will be increased pressure on financial institutions to spend big on technology. So investment on technology is going to take place more and more. Blockchain, today every central bank is talking about adopting blockchain technology, which is easier to adopt. Artificial intelligence, machine learning are the prime drivers of new technology. Today you cannot really work without machine learning and artificial intelligence. Look at your phone. When you type some message, a particular suggestive word comes. It is your mobile phone is artificially intelligent to suggest you what exactly you want to type. Right? Today, look at that interesting case has gone to US Supreme Court. There's a particular gentleman, particular lady who was killed by a terrorist, basically filing. And lady's family has filed a case in various courts, then it now finally got to the Supreme Court to ban to put a cost on Google because Google's suggestive way provides what a particular person wants using artificial intelligence. So what the argument is that you have actually facilitated a terrorist group to basically get all the details about terrorism, how to do it, all kinds of things by actually channelizing using artificial intelligence. You are studying the mind of the person and actually supplying him more information that he should have got. And that way, he becomes more powerful to kill, and hence you have to basically ban this particular ones. Okay, so the case is lying in Supreme Courts. Now, what kind of, because there's a substantive protection against these companies, which was said the rules was 27 years old rule. But today, the rules are changing because of the new technologies. So Supreme Court is looking at, re-looking at that particular law, which protects the companies like Google. Harnessing modernization of data. Data is today the most important word because quality data is the lifeblood of any company today. Today, FMCG company studies, what the consumers wants, right? Any company, service has become the most important orientation. The volume of data grows exponentially. It is harder to collect and share helpful information quickly without robust data standards and foundations. So today, you have heard about something cloud-based computing. People are holding the data in your cloud. All your phones are actually, your photos are kept in the cloud. Google provides you free space of basically 10 GB data on which you can store your photos. All these are basically are in the clouds, right? So there will be basically, the data, the way the data is growing, right? The kind of technology we are going to use has to basically study that particular data and get you, basically information. Progressive players are beginning to understand that data modernization is an innovative way for companies to generate economic profits. So modernizing and collecting data and centralizing them for the various departments of the companies are going to be important. A company which does not do it, the company is going to die, a natural death if a company does not invest. So when you are talking about capital market, if it is not a company which is investing heavily on technology and data, modernizing the data, using the data for, basically your, today all the students will be knowing how the companies are actually paying people. Today there was a report that the wage difference of between 1,75,000 between people who know technology better and adopt technology can do better technology than the people who cannot do it. That's the basically, if you have the same qualification, if a person is little more technological advanced, the wage difference is 1,75,000. So this is going to be a challenge for the capital market, because capital market today is generating huge amount of data. And if the data is not protected, that's why the government talks about data protection law, where the data to be stored, whether should it be stored in India, should it be stored in outside the world, outside India. So these are basic challenges and the companies are facing. Organizations that double down and invest in technology infrastructure to manage and access will accelerate innovations. Moving to a transparent and accurate sustainable agenda. Today everybody talks about sustainability. ESG. So